Coming up on SCVTV's Community Corner, we'll meet a Canyon High School teacher with an inspiring story that has led her to advocate for transplant awareness.
Learn about how a Valencia High School student is providing a platform for young filmmakers across SCV.
Castaic Animal Care Center returns with an adorable canine looking for her forever home.
Plus, find out how the CCR class has been working behind the scenes to bring the show to life.
Stay tuned. SCVTV's Community Corner starts now. Welcome back, Santa Clarita Valley, to SCVTV's Community Corner. I'm Dave Caldwell, and this show is all about you, Santa Clarita, the nonprofits, the schools, our local government, and the people who make up our community. We always appreciate you spending a little bit of your day to find out what's going on in Santa Clarita. And this is going to be our last show for 2024. Carrie couldn't make it today, but we have an extra special guest host filling in, Katie Cochran. Welcome to this side of the camera, Katie.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
So for those of you at home who don't know, Katie is one of 10 students, part of the Hart District's College and Career Readiness Program. The other 9 students are in the studio right now, behind the cameras, stage managing, in the control room, making TV magic happen, and they've been at it since the end of October. You'll hear more about the class later in this episode.
Speaking of the episode, it's going to be incredibly inspiring. My classmates Amelia and Luke worked hard to bring these stories to us in the community.
We'll also be joined by volunteers from the Castaic Animal Care Center who brought along a sweet little pooch who's on a journey to find her forever home. And as we said, Katie is joining us, West Ranch students, and part of the CCR group, and so we're really excited to have her on this side of the camera.
Yes.
And as I said, you're West Ranch students, so you're a junior at West Ranch, right? Sophomore.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you're even younger than I thought. But you're a sophomore over there. What is it that's made you think, you know what, I think I'd like television. I want to give this a try. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, so I first joined RPTV in 7th grade, and I originally just joined for being on camera, but then I really discovered my love for behind the scenes, and I realized what it takes to put on a show and just how much you have to work, and it's just so much fun, and I really like it. So
RPTV, Rancho Pico
yes.
TV, part of that group, and that feeds into West Ranch TV as well, and West Ranch High School. What have you learned most? What has been the big takeaway from this experience in this CCR class that you didn't expect when you were first coming in?
Definitely learning how to work under time crunch and really learning how to be more professional and be more organized, because there's so much that goes on to putting a show, and I've just learned a lot about how to be more professional, and I feel like this class has taught me a lot with all the great people around me who have been in this industry for so long.
So if there are other students that are either in high school or even junior high, since you started at Rancho Pico, what would you say to them? What advice would you, as a now seasoned person in television, what would you say to them if they were interested in getting involved?
I would just say don't give up and just keep pushing through, and just it's just so much fun, and I just think just keep going and yes.
And have fun with it.
Yes, have fun.
All right, Katie, thank you so much. Great to have you with us.
Thank you.
And we've got a great show in front of us, so stay with us.
The William S. Hart Union High School District is an exemplary district located in Santa Clarita, California, a community nestled in North Los Angeles County. The Hart District, rated as one of the top secondary districts in the state of California, strives to make a difference in the lives of our diverse student body by instilling a sense of community, courage, creativity, and caring. We do this by working together to offer high-performing academic programs, championship athletic teams, award-winning performing arts, and a robust career and technical education program. For our teachers and staff, we offer competitive salaries, a great benefits package, and a chance to work with our amazing students. Being in Santa Clarita offers the opportunity to be just minutes from it all. The beach, mountains, desert, close to the excitement of Los Angeles, all while living in a beautiful and safe community. So we invite you to meet with us and think about joining the William S. Hart District family, where we believe in one heart, every student, opportunity ready.
Welcome back to SCVTV's Community Corner. Life can hit us with unexpected challenges and twists, but our next guest is proving that no matter how tough things can get, we can still find positivity and light even in our toughest moments.
Joining us now is Kelly Seidenkranz, a Spanish teacher at Canyon High School who, in the midst of the pandemic, unexpectedly experienced a potentially fatal condition called spontaneous coronary artery dissection.
We're so thankful you're here, Kelly. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that most people who have this condition don't even make it to the hospital. So please, tell us about your story, going from being perfectly healthy to learning that you have a rare heart condition.
Okay, well, yes, I was very healthy, running every day. I eat healthy. There is no medical history in any of my family, and no one has any heart issues. So to find out suddenly that I had had a heart attack was shocking to my family. I didn't really realize it. I felt like I had a heart attack, but it happened very suddenly because that's the name of what happened. The SCAD is a spontaneous coronary artery dissection. So going about my day, everything was fine, feeling great, and I started feeling a little pain in my chest. But I thought, well, it can't be my heart. Nobody has heart problems in my family. Why would I have a heart problem?
Plus you're so young.
And I'm young and I'm
Yeah.
healthy. But I was feeling a little stressed, so I just chalked it up to stress, just extra stress, because I was about to start teaching summer school and I had a lot to do, and I thought, well, just stress. And then I thought it was heartburn because it got a little worse, and I asked my son to get me some heartburn medication from a neighbor, and right when I asked him, I dropped to the floor, and I had had a heart attack, a SCAD heart attack. And it's a rare condition. They don't know what causes it. It's primarily in women, healthy women under 50 years old, and it's so sudden. My husband and my 2 children rushed me to Henry Mayo Hospital. And the minute I arrived, well, first of all, they're asking me all of the questions because of COVID. And my husband's trying to rush me in, like something's going on, we need to get her seen. And, but we went through that, but the minute they wheeled me into the emergency room, I went into cardiac arrest. Wow. And they had to revive me twice, shock me twice. My husband didn't stay because he didn't know how serious it was. I didn't know how serious it was. I just said, I'm strong, don't worry, I'll be home soon. I thought they'll figure out whatever this is. And ended up needing to be on every type of life support. I was fortunate enough to have the best doctor at Henry Mayo catch that it was SCAD, because many doctors are not versed in this condition across the nation, and he knew exactly what to do, although he didn't. Nothing in the medical books could have prepared him for what he saw with me. So it was my left main coronary artery that made it so rare. It's rare anyway, but the left main is why people don't make it to the hospital. That kills you instantly. And I made it to the hospital, was given very little chance of surviving, very little, almost nothing. My husband was told if she makes it through the surgery, the initial surgery to get a stent into me, I would most likely be brain dead. And miraculously, I woke up 30 minutes after he was told that, asked to call him, had a few lucid moments before I was back in a catatonic state, and talked to him for a couple of minutes, and then I was out of it for a few days. Wow.
So what was it like to hear that life-changing news, and why do you think there needs to be an increase in transplant awareness?
Yeah, so after about a month, I got a heart and a kidney transplant. My whole body had shut down. I had no circulation to any of my body when I first arrived. And that's the reason I ended up needing a transplant. When I first heard that, it's scary. Yeah. I didn't want it, but I also wanted anything, whatever could be done to help me survive. I wanted to get home. I wanted to be healthy again. So that was okay. What I've learned is that there are over 100,000 people waiting for a life-saving organ transplant right now. And so it's my passion now to bring awareness to the issue that people are in need. People are dying every day because there's not an organ for them. And so signing up to be a donor it's miraculous, it's life-saving, and it goes so far, because one donor, I never knew this, can affect up to over 80 lives through
80?
Wow.
Through tissue, eye, and organ donation. So you become a hero to many people. I mean, my donor is my hero. I have not met my donor, but I've written to the donor family, I should say.
Yeah.
But I've written to the family, and haven't heard back yet. But
well, during when you were going through all of this, what helped you to stay so positive as you went through this journey?
Well, number one, I think, is my faith, and just I knew that God had me. I just knew. I never once entertained the thought that I might die. Even though I was on every type of life support there is, I didn't even know there was more than one type. I really, I knew I had a peace because I had hundreds and hundreds of people praying for me. I also had the best doctors, UCLA doctors, that were just fabulous, and nurses, and lots of support. I had cards coming in from students. I had a song written for me by my coworkers that made me laugh, and I just kept my mind on, okay, what do I need to do to get out of here? I'm going to work it. I'm getting out of here. I was wanting to get home to my son's 18th birthday. Yeah. And I wanted to be able to hand him his diploma at graduation from Canyon High School, where I teach. So,
did you?
And I did.
Good.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I was just barely walking by the time it happened. I got to walk him down, hand him his diploma, and then walk down with him back to his seat. So it was a wonderful.
So speaking of like school, and apart from your medical history, you're also a Spanish teacher. What encouraged you to pursue teaching, and why do you believe that Spanish is so important for kids to learn?
It's a funny story because I never knew I wanted to be a Spanish teacher until I actually became one. I never even applied. I was friends with my Spanish teachers at Canyon High School. I'm an alum of Canyon. And I got a phone call when I was working at a summer camp right after graduating from college saying, hey, we need a Spanish teacher. You've been recommended. Could you come teach? So I dropped everything. I had a real job, and I rushed home and started teaching. And I cried a lot the first year because it was challenging and hard. I had no teacher training, did not have a credential, was on an emergency credential, started going to school. And but I came to love it. By my second year, I knew this is what I want to do. So, and it's just a great thing to have. Spanish is so important living in California, and it gives a richness to your life, brings a whole another dimension. It's just, it's, I love sharing that passion with my students because it's been fun for me to know two languages.
I know that with the journey that you went on, now you're really trying to bring awareness towards organ donation. I'm curious about if everyone became an organ donor. I mean, you mentioned that as many as 80 lives, but there's you still have people that are passing away because an organ is not available to them. How many? Why is this so important? I mean, it's obviously for what you went through and the fact that you survived. You have a new heart, you have a new kidney as well, but it's important for you to give this message out. Tell us more about that message that you're wanting people to be able to receive.
Yeah, I mean, it's a miracle for me to be here. Every day and every year that I get beyond what I had, I wouldn't be alive, is such a gift. And so many people, I've come to know a lot of people in the transplant community, inspirational people with inspirational stories, wonderful people, and none of us would be here without those donors. And so it breaks my heart when I hear of people waiting years and years and years and hoping and praying for a heart or whatever organ they need. Kidneys are the most in need right now. And if everybody did register, we wouldn't have that. It wouldn't be a problem. But unfortunately, a lot of people believe myths and are afraid of
what are the, I'm sorry to interrupt you, what are the myths?
Some people think that if you have the pink dot and you are an organ donor, that if a medical emergency happens to you, you won't be helped because they'll see, oh, you're a donor, it's okay if you die. People actually believe that. That's one of the myths. So, yeah. But it's not true. They will do, emergency personnel will do anything they can and everything they can to help you, and that's not even considered until you're gone. So.
So what's your favorite part about being a teacher? Like, what are you so passionate about with it?
I love working with students. I love their personalities. I love interacting with them every day, and I love getting students excited about learning a foreign language. Not everybody will get excited about it. It's difficult, but I love seeing when the light bulb turns on, and I've had many students who've become Spanish teachers or used Spanish in their careers and have contacted me afterwards, and I love that. But it's fun. Teaching allows an opportunity for a lot of creativity too, and I enjoy that. So,
Kelly Seidenkranz, Spanish teacher at Canyon High School and survivor.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing your story, and good luck with everything.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Compared to the thousands of students that live in this valley, all of our own emotions and problems can seem insignificant. What are we if another stressed out, overworked student in a sea of misunderstood adolescents? True that most of the time they aren't really extreme worries like paying the bills or feeding a family, it's still something that's too much of a person of our age to handle. You have every reason to feel valid in your struggles. There's no shame in struggling. It doesn't matter if it's having a difficult time with a friend or a hard time in your family, deciding on which college to go to, if any at all. You are always valid. The worst thing you can do for yourself is decide that you are not worthy of growth, because at the end of those long, exhausting days, it is you that decides to take care of yourself. And taking care of yourself looks different for everybody. Coming home and taking a mental health day can be great, but for some people, our issues are a bit bigger than that. There are so many resources available for you to use at your school, such as your Serenity Space, your campus social worker. These are great, simple solutions, as sometimes other professional help can be hard to ask for, let alone be very expensive. You can also always ask for help using your school's student care line. While all of these things can help, it is the mindset of change that truly helps us get to the place that we all strive to be at. Jim Rohn once said that your life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change. And change doesn't have to be all on your own. It is a path we all work on together. Allow yourself patience and the mindset of the journey and not the destination.
Welcome back to SCVTV's Community Corner. There are so many incredible students in the Hart District doing some remarkable things for their schools and the community as a whole.
That's very true, Katie. And we're so excited to have one of those incredible students with us today. Cameron Gezersay is a senior at Valencia High School and the president of the student-run Hart District Film Festival, an event that gives Hart District students the opportunity to showcase their creativity and storytelling skills. Cameron, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
So we know you run the Hart District Film Festival. Tell us all about what that is and who is going to be participating.
Well, the Hart District Film Festival is a district-wide film festival based in the Hart District. So basically, we ask student filmmakers from all over the district to submit films of any genre and of any length, of a reasonable length, like under 20 minutes usually. So we take films like horror films, comedy films, animated films, just really anything that student filmmakers want to share. And then we take all those films, we screen them, and at the end of the night, we have an award ceremony where we give out awards like Best Comedy, Best Actress, Best of the Show, things like that.
Oh, fun.
So how did you first get involved in the film festival?
Well, when I was a freshman, I wanted to become part of like a filmmaking community because we were right out of the pandemic, and I really wanted to find that group, and there wasn't really one. There wasn't like a film-based event yet in the district, so I decided to create my own. So I went to the principal of my school and I asked him like, how can I create my own filmmaking event? And he's like, it's really not that hard. If you can just get people there, if you can get people to submit, that's all you have to do. So I got in touch with people from all around the district, all the different video teachers and all their students, and we made it happen 2 years ago, and it's been going strong ever since.
Is it just the high schools or the junior highs as well? Because I know that the Hart School District is grades 7 through 12.
Well, we invite the junior high schools to come see the event, but submissions are just based for the high schools.
Just for the high schools?
Yeah, just
okay.
for the high schools.
And organizing this kind of event must be a lot of work. What's motivating you to take charge of this kind of event?
Well, it is a lot of work, but I really think every year when I go to the festival, it's just so nice to see so many film enthusiasts and so many just wonderful filmmakers showing their work. And I think what's really special about it is just the praise that's going around from filmmaker to filmmaker. It is a competition, but it really feels like more of a showcase. Like it's really showcasing and just embracing the arts, and that's really important to me, just embracing the arts as a whole. And I feel like that's especially important with filmmaking, just being able to share work and not be critical, just be supportive of other people's work. And so seeing that every year really motivates me to just keep on doing it.
So what's something valuable you've learned from running this event and the experience you've had over it?
Well, like I said, I think it's really strengthened my belief in just in like sharing the arts, Like I think seeing every year, just seeing people come together and show, not be afraid to show their work and to really put themselves out there is really special to me. I think it's just a really inspiring thing, and I really think it's a community that's meant to bring people together. And I feel like a lot of the time filmmakers, they're kind of in their own bubble. They make stuff themselves, maybe they have a few other friends and they make stuff together, but it's like they don't really extend beyond that, or they stay like in their genres. So like there's people they like to make horror films, people like to make comedy sketches, but they don't really intercross. And the experience of putting together this festival has really showed me, and I feel like showed a lot of other people as well, that that's not the way it has to be. You know, you can come together and you can embrace the work of other people as well, and like other mediums, other genres, and I just think that's really special.
And learn from that as
Yeah.
well. And are you a filmmaker as well?
I am a filmmaker, yeah.
I had a feeling that you probably were. That was probably the genesis of all of this.
Yeah, that's what got it all started. Yeah.
What is it that you love as being a filmmaker? What's your genre? What is it that you prefer? And talk about the experience of working with other people as well and seeing other films that you've had.
Well, I wouldn't say I have a specific genre myself. I really like to go around, just make anything I can. And that's what's been so special, you know? I mean, this event has really introduced to me genres and types of filmmaking I didn't even know existed, you know? But yeah, it's really, I've always been a storyteller at heart. I've always wanted to tell stories in some way, you know? I did just creative writing for a long time. I explored like different types of arts, but filmmaking is really special because it's just the most visual. It's the most visual medium, you know. It's like putting together like all your like your stories. Like it's just the best way to really bring a story to life, in my opinion. Yeah. It has all the best aspects of all the different types of storytelling, and so my experience has just been wonderful. I've been making films for a long time now. I think most of my life I've been making films in some aspect, and I just love. Because it's a very, unlike other arts, you know, like painting and like creative writing, it's like, those are more solo, right? Like you do it yourself. But filmmaking, like, it requires you to work with other people. And I think that's really special because you really learn how to be a team player. You really learn that the best kind of art isn't made by yourself. The best kind of art is made when a group comes together and just puts all their best work forward.
And submissions now open for 2025. When is the deadline and where should students to go to find more about the festival?
So if students want to find out more about the film festival, they can go to our Instagram, which is @HD Film Festival. And the submissions deadline right now, I believe it's February 7th. And the actual event is going to be held on March 7th. If students want to submit on the Instagram, they can find our Google Classroom link. And from there, there's more information and the actual form for submitting their films.
Cameron Gezersay, the president of the Hart District's Film Festival. Thanks so much for joining us. This has been really fun.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Wish Education Foundation is a local nonprofit organization that serves nearly 22,000 students of the William S. Hart Union High School District. Headed by Executive Director Amy Daniels and a board of dedicated community members, WISH supports countless programs such as student wellness, arts and music, STEM, special education, and more. The foundation also hosts several popular community events, including Wine on the Roof, Cocktails on the Roof, and Cars Under the Stars. Other local events include the College Webinar Series and the SCV Music Festival. WISH funds programs that state funding alone cannot fully support, and all WISH fundraising stays in the Hart District, benefiting our students since 2012. The WISH Education Foundation is such an important part of Santa Clarita. If you are interested in learning more about their events, volunteering, or donating, please visit www.wisheducationfoundation.org.
Welcome back to SCVTV's Community Corner. 'Tis the season to spread love and joy, and what a better way to do that than giving a four-legged friend a forever home.
Joining us today to introduce us to the adorable pup Rainey are the dynamic father-daughter duo from Castaic Animal Care Center, Paul and Maggie Martinson. Guys, thanks so much for being with us again today.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's always a pleasure to be here.
It's great to always have you, and you have brought Rainey, a Malinois,
A Belgian Malinois.
Belgian Malinois. Tell us about Rainey.
Rainey is just a little bit of a sweetheart. She's about 3.5 years old, 50 pounds. She's highly intelligent. As you can see, she's treat motivated, which a lot of the dogs are, but she's also a cuddler. She's very sweet. She nuzzles up to everyone. And as you see her during the segment, you'll see her looking around all over the place because she's very aware of her surroundings.
Rainey,
Yes.
Rainey.
Hi, Rainey.
She's trained too. She knows sit, stay, paw.
Rainey,
Yes.
Rainey. Sit. Paul. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. Yes, you are such a... She's a love bug.
Yes,
She
she
really
is.
is. She's kind of a cuddler too, isn't she?
She's a cuddler.
Oh, can I say
She
something?
wants more. She thinks
She wants more? Oh, you're going to give me a kiss?
she wants more.
I've got it all over my beard. Oh, Katie's got some. That away. There you go. What would be a great family?
Rainey needs right now to be really an only dog. She's not dog aggressive, but she plays very rough.
Yeah.
So she needs to be an only dog in a family. But a family that's also very active, because this is not a sit on the couch and eat bonbons type of dog. While she's very cuddly and very affectionate, she wants to do things. She wants a job. Malinois are working dogs. They're used a lot in law enforcement and the military because of their intelligence, because of their fearfulness. She's a great protector for families, but she's just a wonderful, wonderful animal. But she definitely needs somebody who is going to be active with her and not just ignore her.
So Maggie, would you say Rainey's pretty good with kids?
That's a great question. So whenever someone is interested in an animal, I always recommend first do your research, because they could look great on paper, but then once you get into it, you could be like, oh, this may not be the animal for me. But after doing some research, if you're interested in said animal, I always recommend coming in and meeting the animal, bringing your family, bringing your kids, just to see how the animal does, because everybody's different.
And they get to have some time with the animal. I know that when I went to to Castaic and adopted Sheba, we sat down with our son, who was 6 at the time, and got to spend a lot of time with the animal at the time, and just absolutely fell in love with her. And that's why we brought her home.
Well, at Castaic, we do give you that opportunity. You sign a waiver and you get to meet the dog in the pens, and you meet and greet. If you do have a dog at home, we do interactions through the fence. Because of liability, we can't have your dog inside the property. But we will do an interaction through the fence, and we'll see how that goes. But yes, you definitely have that opportunity to meet and greet the dog and try to get to know the dog.
And with the holidays upon us right now, it's a great time, or is it a great time, to come to the shelter as a gift to be able to present during the holidays? How would you say?
Like I said, sorry, I'll go first and then you can go. But if you do your research, that's what we always recommend. But a lot of the time people will come in without looking into the animal. They'll say, oh, this Malinois looks awesome, I'm gonna bring this dog home. But then they're like, I didn't realize this dog needed to go on hikes, on lots of walks, needed tons of exercise. So we always just recommend looking into the animal, and then if they're at the shelter, to come and meet them, sit with them, spend some time with them, see if they're what you're looking for.
And as you mentioned, bring the entire family.
Yes.
Everyone that the animal is going to be interacting with. You want, including possibility of other pets.
Other pets. And if you are looking at a gift, understand that a dog is a 5, 10, 15-year commitment. It's not something that is, okay, I'm done playing with it in 3 weeks and it now sits in the corner. They do require grooming, they do require feeding, and they do require going out on, like you said, exercise. Especially this is a working dog. So just please keep that in mind when you come in.
Yeah.
Because Rainey is a wonder. Come here. Come here.
So let's talk about the adoption process over at Castaic Animal Care Center. Tell us a little bit about that entire process. Remind us all.
Yeah, so like we said, we always recommend meeting the animal. So you'd go to the office, you'd say, hey, I'd like to see Rainey in kennel 45. And you could bring a picture of her ID, and then you sign a waiver, you go out, meet her. If you fall in love, which someone is going to, she's amazing.
Yeah.
You go back to the office. We always recommend taking a picture of the kennel card and saying, hey, this is the animal I would like to bring home. What's the process? Normally you have to pay a fee. I know right now for Christmas, it's, I want to say from December 1st to December 25th, the adoption fees for dogs and possibly cats are $25 instead of it's close to $200. So it's a lowered fee. So you'd pay the fee, you fill out like 2 or 3 pieces of paper, just giving your name, address, all the good stuff, and then you sign the waiver saying I will be committing to this animal.
So you talk about Rainey needing the exercise because Rainey's a working dog. Does the size of the yard actually matter? Or what about if someone is in an apartment? If they're a committed person to walking Rainey every single day, that's totally fine.
That would be fine as long as they understand that they would have to take her out every single day. And going back to it, when you adopt from the Passaic Animal Shelter and any of the 7 LA County shelters, the dogs are chipped. The dogs are either spayed or neutered, so Rainey has been spayed, and the shot records are up to date, so that you don't have to worry about going out and getting their shots right away. You get all the medical history on them, and you also get a voucher to bring the dog to your vet, somebody that you trust. And what your vet will do is a preliminary physical. They'll look at the eyes, ears, nose, the teeth. They'll listen to the heart and lungs, and give you an assessment. They don't do tests. They don't do X-rays. They don't do blood work. But it's somebody that you trust. Our vets at the shelter look at the dogs, but this is your vet. So the dogs are ready to go. They have been thoroughly vetted, and they're just wonderful.
So we know that animal shelters across the country have had a couple problems over the last years with overcrowding. What's the status at Castaic?
Well, right now we have some empty kennels, but we also receive transfers all the time from Castaic and Lancaster, who are very, very overcrowded, and those are in the LA County system. Ours, we move dogs fairly well. I mean, I really do, and we do move puppies and small dogs instantly. Anything that is 20 pounds or less will be adopted within a day or two of their availability. Puppies go I've come to the shelter at 10 o'clock in the morning, and there's been a line since 7 o'clock when we have puppies that are available. Especially a couple of months ago, we had 6 lab puppies, and there were people lined up just ready to go and ready to take them. So our shelter, we do have openings right now, but that could change immediately, or that could change instantly. It just depends on how many dogs that are out there that are strays or owner surrenders.
Paul, you and I have known each other a long time, and I know that you volunteer over there, and you're happy to do it. And Maggie, you're volunteering as well. And what do you say to people who would like to volunteer or to be a part of that, or the joy that you get out of volunteering and being a part of the animal shelter?
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I mean, so I'm a huge animal advocate, but when I started 6 years ago, it was really hard for me because even though Castaic, we have a really high adoption rate, not everyone gets out. So I do always tell people that it's great work, I love it, the animals really appreciate you and love you, but that not every animal is going to get out, but you have to go into it with that mentality of let's get everybody out.
Yeah.
And I go in almost every day, and my joy is just taking the dogs out and socializing them. I don't do the littles, I don't do the cats, my daughter does that. I do dogs, and I take them out and I socialize with them and play with them and walk them and get them ready for adoption and do the viewings.
You guys, thank you so much for bringing
Rainey
so and being a part of this and the work that you do. 6 years for you. How long have you been doing it now?
It'll be 6 years in March.
Who started first?
Me.
You started first, so she got you involved.
She was doing it, and then I waited till I retired, which was it would have been difficult to do what I do when I was working.
So before we go, where can people go for more info? Is there like a website or any like social medias?
Yes.
There is a website, the Castaic Animal Shelter. If you Google it, and I know you put up the actual website every time, but there's a website you can go, and it gives you not only the animals that we have in Castaic, but it also gives all animals in the LA system. So if you want a Belgian Malinois, you can do breed or first animal dog, and then you can do Belgian Malinois, the breed, and it'll tell you every Belgian Malinois that's in the LA County system at that particular time. We might not be one at Castaic right now, obviously there is, but it would tell you where the dog is and approximately how old it is. and if it's available or not, because not every dog is immediately available once they're in the shelter. They have to do a stray wait. If they're strays, there is a wait time before they become eligible. So the website is a wonderful place to go. If you're just interested in going to the Castaic shelter, you just click on Castaic, and it only gives you the animals that are at Castaic.
We also have two Facebook pages. I think it's like, so we have Everything Pets SCV, which is like a general Facebook page, but I'm constantly posting our shelter animals there. And then we have, I think, Volunteer and Friends Castaic, and then there's another one I'm blanking. But then we also have an Instagram page for Castaic animals, but all the shelters in LA County each have their own pages, so you could check the other pages as well.
Maggie and Paul Martinson, volunteers with the Castaic Animal Care Center, thank you so much. Thank you for introducing us to Rainey.
Yes, such a beautiful dog.
We really appreciate your time and what you do over there.
You're very welcome, and have a happy holiday.
Oh, you do
Thank
the same.
you.
I know Rainey's going to have a happy holiday.
Yes.
I think Katie's having a happy holiday right now.
Yes, I am.
Katie's enjoying herself,
Yes,
absolutely.
I am.
Every time I hand her a treat, the smile grows.
And you're not talking about Rainey, you're talking
No, I'm
about Katie.
Yes.
Rainy's smile is
Rainy.
because she's getting treats. Katie gets to give that
Yes.
treat. Here, we'll give you one last one.
Stay with
you.
us. We'll be right back.
Aww.
Welcome back to SCVTV's Community Corner. What a season it's been for our Hart District CCR crew. The students we've had the opportunity to work with have shown just how talented the next generation of media makers are. And of course, Katie is one of those students that has been with us for the last couple of months. I'm just curious, we talked a little bit earlier about your desires and your dreams and moving forward.
Yeah.
What's it been like to be here at SCVTV and working on Community Corner?
I've loved it. I've gained a lot of experience, and being around people who have been in the industry for so long has been great. And I've just got to ask people so many questions and learn a lot of things about all the people here. And Mr. Williams has been great. We've done a lot of some shoots outside of this. We did one at Old Orchard, which went really well, and it's just been so much fun. And I'm kind of sad that it's over, but I'm just so grateful to have had this experience.
Well, we're glad that you're here with us to share in our final episode of this season.
Thank you so much.
So we wanted to highlight all of you and show what you've been doing on our show. It's a behind-the-scenes look at what goes into making Community Corner happen every week.
Our CCR class is led by Saugus High School's film, video, production, and TV broadcast teacher, Wade Williams. And we got to hear from him on what it means to provide this hands-on experience to students like me.
So let's take a look and learn about this incredible educational experience.
Welcome back to SCVTV's Community Corner.
What this class particularly does is this class crews Community Corner. And we also provide a service for other community members or community agencies that need multimedia or audiovisual. It's getting them into the job while having the safety net of being a high school student. And that's kind of what I love about this class. I have so many kids that I've had that have gone through this program are working in the actual industry. They get to have real world experience in a field they most likely want to work in for their career. CCR is great for that across the board, not even just this class, but across the board. CCR teaches you how to do while teaching you what to do and not just the theory of it. The kicker that I love, I get to show the community members that come into Community Corner, I get to show them how great these students are. I'm ridiculously proud of them. What CCR does is give those kids that maybe are on the fence an idea of which way they want to go. They focus on taking that passion and putting it into production.
Thank you so much for joining us today. This is our final episode of 2024, but don't worry, the next season is just around the corner.
We'll be back with even more great content in 2025, but while you wait, check out all of our past episodes and segments at scvcommunitycorner.com or our Facebook at SCV Community Corner.
Thank you so much for watching.
We'll see you next time. At SCVTV, we believe in the power of television to inspire, educate, and unite our community. But we can't do it alone. Donate today, and together we can continue to create meaningful content and provide next-generation workforce opportunities.